Hi, my name is Lori Leong. Today's date is April 25th and the password is sunset. How many of you were read to as a child? Lots of you guys, right? You know, parents have been taught to read to children for generations, all because of the numerous benefits that reading provides. Now, did you know that this is actually a luxury for some? Unfortunately, it's a sad truth that many low-income families cannot afford age-appropriate books for their children. And according to a study done by Newman and Dickinson, in low-income neighborhoods, there is only one age-appropriate book for every 300 children. And if that statistic wasn't startling enough, according to the IEA Reading Literacy Study done in 1996, they found that only 61% of low-income families have no books in their home at all. Now, since these families are just unable to access reading materials and read to their kids, many of their children start lagging behind their economically advantaged peers in terms of their literacy skills, vocabulary, and language acquisition. Not only does this affect their elementary education, but also their secondary schooling as well. A study done by Donald Hernandez found that if a child isn't reading at grade level by the end of 3rd grade, they are 4 times as likely to drop out of high school. Luckily, there is an organization out there that is dedicated to helping these at-risk children. This organization is called Books. Books open opportunities for kids in schools. And the Books organization is dedicated to addressing the abysmal literacy rates for these low-income children. They do that by donating new and gently used books to low-income families where books are a rarity. Today, I'm going to discuss why the Books organization is so beneficial to our community and why they need your help. So first of all, there are numerous benefits to reading to children. First and foremost, reading helps build cognitive development. And the earlier you start reading to them, the better. So the Children's Bureau found that if you start reading to kids, even in the earliest months in their life, it stimulates and activates that part in your brain that allows them to understand the meaning of language, and it also helps them build their language, literacy, and social skills. Which brings me to my next point, that reading to children helps build language and vocabulary. So simply put, books provides more opportunities for children to learn new words. Stories introduce kids to lots of new phrases and words that are just not regularly used at home. Now, the researchers Guest, Holland, Caviello, Welsh, Eicher-Cat, and Gill found that the adult reading provides children with just more heightened exposure to more novel vocabulary and cognitively challenging talk. And lastly, learning all of these new words and strengthening their vocabulary prepares these kids for academic success. The PVS organization has found that the stronger their language skills, the better these kids are able to read. And the better a child is able to read, the more likely they are to graduate from high school. And one thing to also mention is that reading to children also helps strengthen that bond between a parent and a child. Just setting up a daily reading time, or even just one that's happened several times a week, gives a chance for a child to have some one-on-one attention with their parent. So now you know. Reading is just so important, and it has so many benefits to our children. Now, the Books organization recognizes all of these benefits and understands that it can have a tremendous impact on a child's life. The psychologist Burke found that the most successful way to improve a child's literacy rate for a low-income child is to increase their access to print materials. So the Books organization has decided to create several programs that can just help low-income families have access to these print books. Number one, they actually have local events happening in your community. So every Saturday, the Books organization has this story time, and so a volunteer reads to every child in attendance. And at the end of that session, every child is able to take a book home with them. This program also has a second purpose because it teaches these kids and those families the resources that the library has to offer and how they can continue to rent books from them. The second program that the Books organization does is that they have an educational workshop for expecting parents. So the Books organization teaches these couples the importance of exposing their children to literacy, even in those early ages. And that way, when the workshop is over, they even give the couple some books to take home, so that way they can read to their newborn child right away. And the Books organization has one last program. They partner with some low-income elementary schools that just tend to have a high population of at-risk children. They just have decided to donate one book at the beginning and end of every school year, so that way every child has something new to read at home. Now, all three of these programs are just helping Books achieve its mission of improving the literacy rates across the country. Now, Books still needs your help. So you may be thinking, I'm just one person. What can I really do? Well, the truth is that you can do a lot and make a huge impact while doing so. There are several ways to support the Books organization. First and foremost, you can donate your time. You are always welcome to volunteer at a local event happening around you. For example, you can be the person that does story time. Another great thing you can do is organize a book drive for your community. You can encourage others to donate their used and new books, so that way, at the very end, you can send that collection to the Books organization. And you can do so with a smile on your face because you know that you're helping a child learn to read, expand their vocabulary, and also helping them have a future because they're more likely to graduate from high school. Just knowing those things is making a child really thrive in that community and that environment that they're in. And last but not least, you can donate any money that you have extra. Any amount you can spare will just go toward buying books and granting reading material to these low-income and at-risk children. So in conclusion, the Books organization needs your help, and they can't win this fight alone. By simply donating your time or your money, we're able to make a difference and improve the children's literacy rates across the country. And if you're unable to donate to this worthy cause, many innocent children may suffer the consequences. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Thank you.